To the gem fort. We're gonna be seeing a couple gems drop right now here from X9J right now. RealHey is gonna be jumping in against Response, who just quickly dashes out of there.
Yeah, really interesting start here. We already have the Gene at the mid, kind of looking for that whole 6 gems on the opponent's side, so they're going to be able to have a pretty good opportunity here. Byron obviously doesn't have much ways to get out of that magic hand, so if he can go for this aggressive pull on the right-hand side, they might be able to get some way back into this game.
Yeah, some way back into the game, but right now, Crew's the one with all of these 8 gems. There is mid control right now, but with Melody flying into the side, RealHey a little bit overextended there. X9J, he's creeping forward with that hypercharge pull. He's going to be able to pull Kuru. All 8 gems flying onto the side of CocoLoco, and that super from Response going to allow him to just quickly escape out of there. A beautiful coordination coming out from CocoLoco.
Yeah, they put themselves right back into that one, but as I said, Byron kind of carrying the gems, making it very awkward because it's such an easy target for the Gene compared to something like, let's say, the Rust, because you would have to pull through those.
Yeah, drafts around this Gene pick inside this monthly final. I do believe they used a similar strategy in the previous May monthly final. But once again, going into game number 2, FA NaiDug, they're going to be taking the first offensive in the mid, but Response, he's already going to draw first blood on the right side. Hiroshi and X9J dodging so many abilities. Kuru is going to drop here as well. And it's full control once again in the mid for CocoLoco.
Big dash from Melody into the mid here, but it's going to be trying to be answered from Response, but that wasn't much of a great response as he gets taken down immediately. Ruffs breaking down the walls to the right-hand side, knows that, oh, great pull from the Gene, already putting 5 gems back into their hands. Nita needs to push up on the left-hand side here. Can the kit get some kind of value on these very squishy brawlers? Just can't latch onto the Melody exactly, but if he can make a little bit of pressure at that mid, will allow that Gene to get back into the, get back to where he needs to be, basically.
Yeah, nice lane swap coming out here from Response. He's going to hop onto his buddy Hiroshi right now, who's going to be doubling up here on the right lane, aggressing very, very quickly. Going to be slowly but surely driving Kuru out of the mid as well. Hyper Bear does fly down from the side of Hiroshi, who will be pushing back the entirety of NaiDug. They are looking pretty dire right now. X9J, he finally misses a pull. Quick emote flies out of there. You sheepish by him, but they do have full control in the mid.
Nita needs to get some value. I feel like Nita hasn't really done a whole lot this game, but if they can get a bear down, it will allow X9J to get out here with the 10 gems. Just goes for 9, and is now going to be forced to retreat. Can they stop the opponents for a little bit more? 10 seconds remaining. Melody comes in, has a lot of supers coming, but the bear, finally the hypercharge, gets down onto the field and is able to block the magic hands onto the 3 Ruffs bags, and that's going to seal it for CocoLoco in set number 1.
Such a clean set coming out from CocoLoco. Now, you know, the first game didn't really look that close. You know, it's a bit chaotic in that sense. And
option, there's a lot of walls where you can get behind. And let's see if we can get behind this strategy here inside of game number 1. It is already the...
oh, I think I have lost Knight.
Oh, he's back in the back end of the game.
Knight, I lost you there for a slight moment there. Forgive us, it's a little bit of China problems, but here, we're back here.
Yeah, everything's going bananas here.
Yeah. Alright, no worries about that. CocoLoco just playing a little bit passive right here. We're not really entirely certain what NaiDug plans to do in response. They are the ones with the Buster, actually. Oh, hang on. There's a little bit of a draft mix-up here, I believe, that we saw. But yeah, it's going to be the Cordelius, Pearl, and Angelo on the side of CocoLoco, and it's going to be the Max Buster. So NaiDug kind of giving CocoLoco a taste of their own medicine here.
Yeah, and if they can continue applying this pressure inside of the mid here, as we see, I think they can just stay here and kind of wait them out into the smoke. Finally, they are going to be able to take this round 1 win in a very clean way. Didn't really let the Buster Max get too much value. Definitely took advantage of the fact that they were staying behind, charging supers, and got a lot of early leads to allow them to succeed in the back on that first round.
Yeah, very, very quick shot here from X9J. Just gadgeting back right after that shot. A little bit cheeky there from him. I think, you know, on the side of CocoLoco, they know what they want to play for. They kind of are feeling it that they have the much stronger endgame here. Not really too concerned about this Buster. After all, they do have this Cordelius that can instantly just take away one of NaiDug's members. And regardless of who that is, it's going to be changing up the matchups drastically for the side of Hiroshi, who is already holding on to this Pearl Super. It's going to be an asset in the late game as well. Now, both teams just playing extremely passively. They both believe that they can actually win in that 50-50 endgame scenario. But as we saw from the first half, CocoLoco, they took it so convincingly. So I'm not sure if NaiDug, they have this one planned out, really.
They need to take the Max out of the equation here. Or the Buster, or using that Cordelius. If they can do so, they might be able to neutralize the other threats here at the mid. But so far, it looks like it's going to be the Buster up against the Cordelius. Response probably just needs to opt for going to the smoke. But actually, opponent already has a super. Not much more can be done here. And it's going to be going in the other way of NaiDug now. Finally, they're showing a little bit of signs of life in our set over 2.
Yeah, signs of life indeed. I think Ryohei this time doesn't really have the super. And I'm not sure if that's going to make a big difference per se, because end of the day, you know, right now in the endgame familiarity, you're just going to land your 3 shots of those notes, and you're probably going to be pretty close to that super anyway. But yeah, X9J right now getting quite a lot of chip damage. Ghost actually having to go forward there to help his fellow teammate tank it out a little bit. Kuru, though, he's positioned on the right side right now, kind of waiting for his chance to shine here. Nowhere close to his Buster, though, so not really much intention right now to use that Let's Go prematurely. Once again, both teams just waiting for that endgame scenario.
If you're CocoLoco here, I think you just play very passively. You know that the opponent cannot really push into an Angelo with a loaded shot, a Pearl with basically the entire bar, and this shield. You can't push into the Cordelius with the super. So if they know that, they just need to play this passively and take them out one by one. Cordelius needs to start, though, on the left-hand side here and get one of these opponents down. They do. Does this Melody go down? No. Choose to retreat. Goes very far back. Now the Cordelius maybe in further than he needs to be. Is in big danger now. Can he? No, he can't get around that Buster. And I think this might be very tough. Pro can't get value with the super. And no. Round 2 goes to NaiDug in game 1 as well.
Yeah, knockout is a bit wonky. We always tend to forget what is going on. But CocoLoco, I think they're going to have to come up with a new plan over there. I think NaiDug, they adapted really, really well in that third set. We finally saw a little bit of what their plan was. They kind of realized with these unbreakable walls, there's no real way for Cordelius to really kind of get any pickoffs in his Shadow Realm. You know, the downside of that 1 versus 1 is if it's just going to be 1 versus 1 around these unbreakable walls, it's going to be playing Ring Around the Rosie forever. So, actually, we're seeing a little bit of aggression coming out from the side of CocoLoco. They want to be a bit more proactive here and play not in the end game.
Yeah, but can this strategy be sustainable? They tried to play very passively at first, but now it seems like they're much more aggressive. No max super on their side means that they can't go in for an early push, but at the same time, I think they need to take advantage of the fact that CocoLoco doesn't have any supers on their side right now. No Pearl to push into, nor Angelo with that little ring where it's doing poison damage. So this might be the best time to strike. Pearl gets value with that fire shot, and now it's going to be a 2v1 at the mid here. Angelo, though, has so much at the ready. Max gets the phase shifter off to block that initial shot from the Angelo, and is going to be able to help NaiDug take this first round here in knockout.
Yeah, CocoLoco getting a taste of their own medicine. This Buster Max combination is just so strong. But CocoLoco right now, they're the ones aggressing forward. X9J going to be making an aggressive push forward, trying to get Kuru. A nice pick here from X9J.
Very, very nice shots all across the board. But as you see, they are just leading here and can choose to play very passively. Again, forcing the opponents to push into them as opposed to needing to basically try to find an advantage for your own team. Pearl Super is, again, going to be the most tricky thing for NaiDug to overcome here, especially when you're using brawlers that need to get up close like the Buster and the Melody.
Yeah, we saw it in the second half of last game, though. The Hiroshi, he tried really hard to get close, but those unbreakable walls, they do pose a little bit of a problem. I think Hiroshi, for him to use that super, he's gonna have to wait to the very end. NaiDug, Buster, gonna be popping out his super right now, trying to make something happen. It looks like they're not gonna concede this round just yet. It's sort of not really a wasted super because Buster can just cycle it right now, but it's getting a bit dicey. The Shadow Realm does come out from Respawn. It's gonna be bringing Ryohei and isolating Ghost T, but Ghost T actually gonna be able to take down Hiroshi. 1 versus 1 right now, but CocoLoco, they do secure the second round.
It got a little bit close for Comfort at the end there, but it seems like they're going to be able to come out of this one with not only a round win, but also another Pearl Super. This is one of the biggest problems for NaiDug to overcome. As soon as this match basically goes to the end where all the smoke is in the middle, that Pearl Super can just hit all 3 of the opponents at times. Huge Angelo shot on the right-hand side. They're pushing all the way in now. Can Angelo get value on that Max? I think Max is going to need to use a super here to boost their enemies up. Boost their teammates up with this Buster Shield. Can they get value out of it, though? That's the question. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, right now Rio here going aggressive, but he actually has to use the last dash to retreat there. Poison tip arrows flying out from X9J. Another shot flies out, doesn't connect this time, but the aggression from both teams has come on and has been responded to. A little bit of an impasse right now back in the mid, but Hiroshi, he's the one holding on to this hypercharge, which I do think will be the pivotal factor in this third round.
Hypercharge is going to be super useful. And can he utilize this to break down some walls, though, on the right-hand side, and maybe allow the Angelo to do a little bit more work? And here comes the crucial part. Can they get this Pearl Super down? No, the Pearl goes down without the Super, and NaiDug actually takes this set for themselves. Very, very nice job at the end. They're kind of just denying the Pearl, knowing exactly what they needed to do to win that game. And Angelo, despite putting up a wonderful performance, just this team couldn't get the value out of the Pearl Surge, because there's no way to really deny Surge just jumping down onto you. First game, though, is loading in, and we already see that Surge is kind of playing on the left side quite strongly and is giving the opponents a lot to worry about here. That's one of the things you have to be careful of. If you can deny a Surge from ever getting level 2, you almost always win that game inside the professional context. That's one of the main reasons we don't see Surge actually succeed as often as you think it would.
Yeah, Gogeta is going to get one kill, but it's already an open goal from the side of Response. A little bit of a nice play made by Hiroshi there just to draw the attention onto the right side. Now, the draft has a little bit of a mix-up. It's X9J on the Sandy and Otis on Ghost T. This makes a little bit more sense to me, but already the shots are flying out, and Response is going to get the first start of the game, slowing up Realhead right now. Ghost T going to be investing all of his ammunition right now to get this down. X9J, he flies out with a nice Sandy gadget. Realhead going forward, but it's already an open goal for CocoLoco, who basically clear out this game in a very, very dominant fashion.
That was a pretty just leveling up quite quickly. After the first 15 seconds, already had the super basically, and after that, where do you even go as the Buzz?
Yeah, it might look easy from us, from the, because we can see all 6 of these brawlers, but you have to realize that this Surge is, the way that CocoLoco is playing, they're kind of like playing peekaboo in the bush right now, baiting on one side, taking turns on the other. Realhead right now, he's gonna stun up Hiroshi. A jump a little bit misplaced there. I think he could have survived there. X9J is gonna clean this one up, and he's got his Sandstorm coming up soon. Gonna be trading out with Response. Ghosty passing the ball forward right now, but unfortunately, Kuru not in the right position to receive there. X9J gonna get another kill here as well. CocoLoco, they are a little bit comfortable after they defuse this bear.
I mean, the Surge is already powered up, and it looks like Buzz goes in for the stun. Finally gets some value because, again, that Surge is just not in the right place here on the right-hand side. Does finally rotate over, but can he oppose the Nita on the left? Cannot. And now, ball being passed up onto the right-hand side means that CocoLoco has a little bit of time to breathe here.
Yeah, Response holding down the barrels on the right side here. This bush is, not really where he wants to be. Ryohei does have his hypercharge at the ready. At any point, he could probably pop that gadget and just, start to make use of this. CocoLoco, they look like they're in a bit of a precarious spot right now. The Fat Splatter flies out. It's boxing it in, but a hypercharge Sandy Super flies out. The Mute flies out perfectly, and another sleep to cancel Ryohei's Super. It's a great defense coming out here, but Kuru with this bear, I do believe that's all she wrote. And NaiDug, they're gonna get a goal of their own.
Yeah, Nita Bear was such a huge player there on that left-hand side. Basically forced everyone from CocoLoco back into the spawn until they were all gone. Buzz comes in with a huge hypercharge, but maybe a little bit too low on health. If Jesse wastes the hypercharge, that could be huge. Nita hypercharge comes down. Does Sandy have any more stuns? No! And NaiDug actually takes this one so quickly back.
Which team charges their supers first, and the positioning and kind of the team play of each of them.
Let's see if they can run it back, though. Hiroshi is trying to get his super as quickly as possible. 15 seconds already and no shots down for Hiroshi. That would be a pretty good start for NaiDug, as they even got a Buzz stun on the left-hand side. However, they've got a lot of pressure to deal with on the left-hand side. It looks like they're just opting to retreat for now. Buzz misses the super. This could be a huge turning point here for CocoLoco, only 30 seconds into game number 3.
Yeah, X9J brilliant over there with a nice dodge there in the bush. Kind of soul reading Ryohei a little bit, his ex-teammate. He's inside his head. I think X9J is playing just absolutely brilliantly right now. Response, turret flies out. It's going to be pinching out with Ghosty and CocoLoco. With this kind of positioning, NaiDug, they need to do something, and they need to just do something quickly. I think CocoLoco, they're even going to the extent of trying to wait out for Hiroshi to charge his super. That might be the plan, but hypercharge super flies out, but Ryohei is going to be the one to respawn in Kairo. Hiroshi gets his super as well. And it's going to be CocoLoco that run it back in this game number 3 with the first goal.
Yeah, as soon as the Surge got the super, just jumped right in, and then the goal was right in as well. It seems like something is clearly correlated here. As soon as the Surge begins to succeed, so does CocoLoco. Hypercharge from the Sandy is going to allow them to push again up in the mid, but they kind of just need to get this Buzz down, deny the super, end this game as quickly as possible before the Buzz Hypercharge gives them any more problems.
Yeah, and just like that, Hiroshi is actually going to be grabbing that ball and slotting it in. It's an open goal set up by the star player X9J himself. Man, I feel like I just keep yelling his name, but truly, he is the star player of this game. Those soul reads onto Ryohei, it's just so beautiful coming out.
Inside of our match here. We don't see the bans yet, but we do see a crow with the shield gadget. What am I watching?
You're watching, I would say, Japanese technology, I guess, because this is something that I think has been theorized here on Hot Potato, which is you pick the early crow pick as sort of a block pick for sort of a lot of the picks, and then after that you realize that you're sort of really outmatched by all three brawlers, and so the only way is to kind of play it as a pseudo tank. But here right now, Response is going to be jumped by Ryohei, a bit premature because Hiroshi was on the mark there. It looks like CocoLoco, they are showing that they can play the full wall break strategy because they have torn this map to shreds.
Yeah, the entire hot potato is already gone, and they're going to have to watch out for Hiroshi here as he's now picked up the boost from the Ruffs. Rico is going to find a lot less value here in the mid, but I think this opens the door for Crow to be a lot stronger.
Yeah, Crow's been a lot stronger here in response there. The Shadow Realm actually going to be used to try to cancel Ryohei's super. I don't even know how the interaction for that works right now, but a right lane has cleared up on the side of CocoLoco. Walls going to be broken right now, and a lot of damage going to start pouring in on the side of NaiDug's safe. A jump flies in from Kuru, gets popped instantly by X9J. Meanwhile, Ryohei, Gojira is trying to duke it out right now. He's going to be taken down here by the likes of Hiroshi. That carry player on CocoLoco still at large here, Knight.
Yeah, but he's holding onto that boost. He needs to be careful if he falls on the boost. This could be really detrimental for their future success inside the map, and he does fall. This could be bad because of Ruffs. And, oh yeah, Ruffs needs to play defense here, but the Rico and Buzz are doing tons of damage. Still not enough to equalize here for NaiDug. But Hiroshi's now got the Hypercharge in the super. He's coming up on the left-hand side. They can get this Crow out of the way. They will be able to do tons of damage and take the safe into 30 to 40% range.
Very interesting here from the side of Hiroshi, not breaking that wall. A second super flies out here from Ryohei after whiffing the first. It's not going to be into the right target, but on the right side here, X9J, he does drop, trading it out. Hiroshi, Hypercharge super, going to be flying to the safe, and it's going to be a little bit of a base race right now. 15 seconds left on the clock. Another super flies out from Hiroshi. Damage is flying through, but here on NaiDug, they have 9 seconds left. They're going to be trying to do as much as they can. 39%, 37%, and they're actually going to be doing just enough damage to bring CocoLoco to the knees and take game number 1. Let's stay with our own, and they're the first monthly final after all. Nobody knows what they're doing there. That's why we're just doing our own thing. And Ryohei is gonna be drawing first blood against Response. I feel like this love story between Response and Ryohei is, there's no love lost between them. But Ryohei, Gojira, Buzz right now is in the house, and he's gonna be doing so much damage. Response gonna finally try to bring Ryohei down here, but in the Shadow Realm, duking it out on the left side. Wall break's gonna be flying out here from Hiroshi and Ghosty. He's very low, but that speed boost coming out from the just as I say that, X9J, the sniper, the myth, the legend, he brings it down. Another kill from X9J. Gonna be getting Kuru right now. Response pinned against the wall against Ryohei, but the damage is flying out here from CocoLoco.
It's so interesting because usually if you have a Ruffs boost, you wouldn't want to give it to the Ruffs first. You probably want to give it to the Colt, but just seeing how well Jay is playing, I can totally see why they would be like, well, no, I think you deserve it.
Yeah, CocoLoco, they do have a very clear strategy that they want to. I do believe Response, he is going to be playing defense against Ryohei right now. But Ryohei, he is the one that is securing the offense for his team. He is the equivalent of the X9J, clearing the path for his teammates to fly out. 2 kills fly out his way. But right now, they're the ones that are still down a little bit in the lead. But this Hypercharge from Ryohei might change everything. A nice Hypercharge coming out here from Response, slowing down Ryohei. If he gets this kill, this is going to open up the entirety of that defense for the side of CocoLoco. Response gonna be getting 1. He can't get Ghost T, and that's gonna leave Ryohei at large, unchecked and unmatched. A super though flies up from Ryohei. He does miss this. The Hypercharge comes out. Kuru flies in and takes out Hiroshi, but the map is completely open right now, Knight.
They're leaving this Ruffs boost on the left-hand side, though, as Cordelius chooses not to pick it up. Now, it's just going to make it awkward because now the Colt has to reach a little bit further to get it and maybe put himself in danger of the Buzz. Buzz falls. Can they get this Crow down at the mid? They still have left this Buzz, but yeah, and just not picking up that buff earlier kind of hurt them because they had to throw a new one down because the Colt couldn't actually reach it. They just need a little bit more percentage for their side. Cordelius doesn't go for the save. Colt gets a shot, but can the enemies retaliate quickly enough? Crow has the hypercharge, doesn't get the save. Buzz, it's so close, but so far. And finally, NaiDug goes down to match point against CocoLoco.
Wall break strategy is working out for them, but Response, he has to be a little bit more precise here against that matchup with Ryohei. If he can lock this one down, honestly, NaiDug, they don't really have much right now. And Ryohei, he's first time I am seeing him actually miss that super against Response. It might just be the first time we are seeing this Cordelius versus Buzz interaction come to fruition. One kill going his way, but he's going to be taken out here by the side of Kuru. A pinch flies out here, but a lot of shots fly out. Hiroshi's going to be trading his life out as well, and everything evens out. The dust settles, and Kuru is going to hold strong in the mid.
Yeah, I noticed that after the Cordelius took at the Buzz, it seems like the team may have not communicated correctly, because it seemed like he didn't know that there was a Crow right on top of him. So just not having enough HP, landing right on top of the Crow and going down immediately may have not been part of their plan there.
Yeah, once again, another kill flies out. Another Buzz super hits Ryohei. Right now, he's on fire.
Wow.
Triple kill comes out from him, taking out the entirety of CocoLoco. That's going to be opening up the entirety of NaiDug, but the damage is not flying through. They don't have a real damage dealer. This control comp, they need to work together as a team if they want to get some damage. Ghosty going to be melting X9J right now, and it's going to be Response, the sole defender. But there is a Colt on the side of CocoLoco, on the other side of the safe, breaking open more walls and more damage flying in on the side of NaiDug. The Hypercharge super flies out from Ryohei. It whiffs onto one, but he manages to fly in. He cleans up another one. It's going to be Response duking up against Ryohei on the left here, Knight.
But now they're behind on percentage. The Buzz doesn't have a super. It's going to be up to the Rico and Crow to get damage. But as soon as Crow gets that hypercharge, it could be very, very difficult for CocoLoco. That just does so much damage to the save in a couple seconds.
Yeah, the hypercharge flies out here from the Cordelius. They almost get Ryohei down here. One more shot should do the trick. Response brings him down, and this time Kuru doesn't take him down. Kuru, patience there with that super. He knows that they need it for the end game right now. Hiroshi also being very patient with this hypercharge. They are waiting for their opportunities. Some shots, if they connect, that could just open everything up here for CocoLoco.
Yeah, they just need to get that the Colt hypercharge on the save at some point and basically just defend once, push at the end, and win this match. But so far, it looks like that's not going to plan. Crow hypercharge gets on the save. That's so many daggers, and it takes it down 20%. They cannot get this 30% back. I don't think in the next 10 seconds. Response tries to make a push up to the top, but the Crow and the Colts are just at the mid here, fighting it off, and the safe is not going to fall.
Yeah, 34% to 20%, and NaiDug.
Kind of close.
It was kind of close, not gonna lie, and I would be pretty scared as well. But right now, you know, Ryohei, I mean, star player goes to Hiroshi here because the damage is done, but we've got to try their comfort strategy. The Carl is gonna be in the hands of Response. We've got Carl Sandy and Sprout going up against this Larry Laurie, RT, and I believe that is an Eve.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I think those were the bans for the hot potato map again. Because if Angelo wasn't banned here and it wasn't picked, I refuse to believe that. Me personally, there's no way that they did not pick Angelo. Neither team's didn't pick Angelo. It's just impossible.
Yeah, Spin gonna be flying out here from Response right now. He seems to have gained back his confidence. A nice bounce shot here from the side of Hiroshi. And an emote flies out here from X9J, taunting his ex-teammates. Kuru left alone to dry here. 5 stars to the name of CocoLoco.
It's a great start here for the CocoLoco team. Sprout Wall's gonna continue to allow them to assure this lead essentially on the right hand side. It basically gives RT no play whatsoever. Can he continue to do so though? Sprout Wall is ready again. Can he just drop it down at the mid here? Maybe break some of these grass areas here in the mid, but he's just going to choose to retreat. Oh, and actually a couple of takedowns. It's going to put NaiDug back into a good position here, honestly.
Yeah, very nice pinches coming out here from the side of Kuru and Ryohei. Great shots flying out there. Ghosty having to actually use that gadget defensively to push himself back. Hiroshi, he's the one showing up right now to play this game. But 2 marks flying out here on the side of CocoLoco. Neither of them dropping right now by X9J. He's the one that's going to be falling here. Kuru right now jumping across Response. He's going to be picking up this kill in return. Hiroshi 1 versus 2 against NaiDug. And actually not even phased right now. That hedge creates the distance for him.
Carl, just such a strong pick inside of this game. As you see, RT, Eve, and you see Larry and Laurie, no way for them to basically reset or knock back for Carl whenever he goes in for the offensive. As you see here, Just need one pickup here on one of those 3-star picks. Need to take out the Carl or need to take out that Sprout, but it's not enough time. And CocoLoco goes to, I believe...
Right. I mean, a lot of plays being made right now, but CocoLoco, they are the ones, as you said, they are at match point. NaiDug, they're going to have to try their very best here. Dodge just flying out here, response very nice here, but the shot is going to finally connect here. X9J, he does have this bush, but not for long. A quick shot, pinches fly out, and CocoLoco, they're the one losing the mid control. And remember what we said, Knight, whoever gets that mid control at the start is going to have that significant advantage here on Cano Grande.
And as the Carl falls, it's looking better and better for NaiDug. Sandy's going to go down as well. And let's see if they can even take 1 star for their advantage here. If you're CocoLoco, you've got to worry here because they're all over the mid. And you've got to make some serious plays. Oh, Carl goes in for a kill and actually is able to get out. But the Sprout Wall is actually hurting their own team now. RT, if they can get this turret down, they might just be able to have some play because that's 5 stars that they can be using to hopefully get a little bit of this disadvantage back.
Yeah, real hit right now. He's going to be slowly chipped away, though. That second lower body of his, he's actually baiting out quite a lot of shots. He manages to get that super, though. So managing to swap back into his legs. And CocoLoco, they have that little bit of that mid right now, but it's a left-right split between these two teams. And it's always going to be harder for CocoLoco to advance into this left bush because they do have the Sandy. The range disadvantage is really, really massive right now.
But they have to respect the RT as well. If you get too close, those legs are just going to come down really quickly and basically two-shot anything here from the side of CocoLoco.
Yeah, you know, Hiroshi, though, he is the one that is trying to abuse that slight superior lane advantage. Hedge flies out here, blocking out Real here. I think he was trying to give a path for X9J to advance forward. The timing flies out right now, and he responds. He's going to be going for the back. The pinch is not really timed very, very well. Hiroshi with the hypercharge. He's going to be trying to go for a hedge play, but response going to be taking out here in the back. 15 stars to 4. It's an impossible situation, and NaiDug, they're going to clinch this game, putting both teams at a golden game. 1-1 in the set. Whoever takes the next is gonna be moving forward in this monthly final.
Inside the Asia Pacific region, this is what you have to expect today for the rest of these matches, and we're going to be hopefully wrapping this one up soon as this is a double match point.
Ryo here actually using that new gadget to his advantage, going to be stomping Sandy out into oblivion, and once again another gadget from Ryo here. This new gadget coming up from the RT, I don't think this is something that CocoLoco had expected, and already they're playing from the back foot. This could be the May monthly finals champion just knocked out just in the first round.
I can definitely see that as a possibility. 7 stars to 0 so far, and no such advantage for CocoLoco. They don't have an inch of the grass inside this mid here. And as Carl gets lower and lower, they're going to have to retreat again. Sandy solo goes down, and now they can't even take out the Eve. This is looking really, really bad for CocoLoco.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult from here on out. Once again, that RT is just playing so well. Real here, this technology with this gadget is blocking all of what CocoLoco want to do. The aggression just not working out for them. Response can't even fly in. He's going to be looking for the target. A flying hook does fly in onto Kuru, but it's his teammates. The positioning is just not there. They're trying to get Hiroshi to help him. Tailspin does fly out, and the first anti-super of the game flies out, and a nice shot comes out here. Response needs to go for one more onto Real here. Another shot will fly. He does claim that blue star. 18 stars, only 2 more stars to go for NaiDug. It's going to be so close, Night. But right now, a little bit of stability coming out here from the side of CocoLoco.
Sandy on the right-hand side has to be so careful. RT can just put down those legs and put this game to rest. But the Sprout can use these walls here. He needs to pinch off these brawlers one by one. They're going to need a team wipe and then one more time for CocoLoco to even have a chance here. 18 seconds left. I think NaiDug knows as long as they play and play very safe here, start to fall back, they're going to be able to take this one and take this match. They do. Final takedown onto the Carl, and that is going to be a match win for NaiDug at opposition. 5 match points throughout this series, and they were finally able to take it against all odds against CocoLoco here. A lot, and the opponents don't know much about it, and we're going to see if they do know a lot about it in the first game here. Seems like it's going to be an early push here from the Draco, going right over that left wall, and is already going towards that safe inside of Terry. What an aggressive player, as we know him to be, and he's already going straight for it here inside of safe zone.
Yeah, Rival right now, they are striking back in the mid, though, being able to take down most of the aggression. Terry is going to be jumping here on the left side with this Gale sort of tech here coming out here. Oh, there is a bit of that minor, draft thingy going on again, where the Gale is actually going to be signed to RevenantEsports. Terry, with 1 HP left, that is going to be that Draco tech flying through. A lot of damage here on the RivalEsports save. Revenant, this comp feels a lot like, sort of like a triple semi-tank comp here, and it does seem to be working a little bit well here on the side of safe zone.
They're just running it down on that left-hand side. Gale jump and Terry just goes right for the safe again. Can they continue to deny him though? Oh my goodness, disgusting amount of damage. What am I watching?
Wait.
What in their safe falls? What happened?
I wish I could really tell you for sure, but RivalEsports are going to be taking game number 1.
I mean, considering Ruffs and Piper do a not really significant amount of damage to a save, I'm going to have to say that had to be the Crow there. But of course, I like how the Crow plays against this team, honestly, because you have such good matchups against the Gale, against the Colette, and the Draco. That 1 HP thing, it actually doesn't do him any good, because even though he lives for a second when he gets to 1 HP, he just goes down immediately to the Crow Poison after.
Yeah, it really feels like a triple tank comp, right? Where you really just have to constantly cycle your deaths. But if you look at these death timers coming out from Revenant, this is not what you want to see. You don't want that to happen. Terry for sure jumping in there. A bit overzealous there, going into 3 members of the side of RivalEsports. No communication is going to help you for that. That just seems to be more of a decision making. But right now, Terry, baiting it out again, once again, resetting a little bit. And RivalEsports, they're the control comp that has to wait it a little bit more. Shu has this hypercharge super, and that's the main damage dealer that might be coming out. Rival playing it slow and steady. They're edging closer and closer to Revenant's base.
If they do that, though, they're going to have to get huge damage when they do, because otherwise, oh my goodness, it's gone. The save is gone. 36% is remaining on the side of RevenantEsports, and now I can see why Crow is such a good pick inside the Heights right now.
I can understand why Rival picked it up as their last pick, indeed, their 4-5 pick. Going up against this Colette Gale matchup, it looks like they perhaps may have predicted the idea that RevenantEsports was going for. We don't usually see Crow dealing this much safe damage, but right now, Shu, he's the man in charge, and he's dealing all that damage. He's probably really close to another hypercharge right now, just kind of being patient with that jump. But I think even without it, they know that they have this one in the bag as RivalEsports, they take set number 1.
Well, you know what this means. Draco is going to be... Oh my goodness. Draco has never gotten a kill inside of competitive Brawl Stars because it doesn't synergize amazingly with Piper or Kick, and maybe there was a little bit of a draft. Yep. Okay, yeah, that makes so much sense.
No, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I would really love to pick Max alongside a Piper and a Kick, but alongside a Gray, I can see that.
Yep, and now we actually see it's the opposite sort of mentality. It's going to be RNT that want to play that turtle strategy, but, that's the nature of Max, right? It's similar to Carl, just pick up that first time, you turtle for the rest of the game. But RivalEsports, they are aggressing ever so slightly forward. Milkreo is trying to show that, I am the sharpshooter king here. I'm playing Piper, and I'm going to take Terry out quite easily, dodging out a lot of these mines really, really well as well. Sergeant's going to be offering covering fire onto the side. Meanwhile, on the side of the right side, it's going to be Kenji up against Melty. We do see a little bit of a lane swap coming out here. The nice timing flies out. Milkreo is going to be slowly pushing back Kenji, but Sergeant is going to be swapping with Kenji right now, and Sergeant's going to be in charge of dealing with Milkreo. So many lane swaps, Knight.
So many lane swaps, and for good reason, honestly, because these teams need to figure out how to re-manage the situation here as Revenant tries to push back, but they're still behind a little bit. Tick needs to get as much value as it can, basically before Gray gets that teleport down and is going to be able to push back very effectively from the back end of the right side here.
Yeah, it's still a 1-0 differential. Shu actually going to be popping that speed to try and give Melty a flying hook, but Sergeant, nice dodges coming out of there. Is this the ping div that we were talking about coming into play here? And it's going to be Milkreo. It's going to be falling really, really low here. Sergeant, the head first flies out, but actually a nice trade coming out from Milkreo and Kenji. Not really what they wanted to see there. RNT, they were so close to getting an advantage. Milkreo going to be blowing up the right side of his map. He wants to just open this up and just have this dominant right lane. Terry's going to have to start pulling some weight if RNT want to have a shot here.
Can they get it done here? They have the bells. Oh, well, I don't think they can anymore after that Gray went right in for the kill. They're going to need to take down all 3 players here, and that's just not happening. A little bit of spin from Melty as the thumbs up pass. We're back to
No, we want to see Brawl Stars 9. We want to see Brawl Stars. Yeah, we're back indeed. And Shu's going to be using that gadget once again to get this star. Shu is trapped between so many mines. He is going to barely get out of there. Melty's going to be the one. A nice flying hook. No, a nice walking cane actually going to be combining with that synergy from Milcreo. The synergy coming out. Another shot from Melty here. And yet another. Oh my god. RivalEsports is just popping off on all fronts right now.
That was clinical in the last 30 seconds. I don't know what I just watched, but it was like they were just getting kill after kill after kill. And if you're RevenantEsports, oh my, get this off my screen. This is absolutely disgusting.
It's a massacre right now. I don't know how else to describe it. It looks like the team that was playing just now has substituted or something. This is not the RevenantEsports that we're familiar with in Shu. He's actually going to be going in 1 versus 5 right now. There's so far, they're tearing apart 21-0. RevenantEsports, they had no chance.
I'm genuinely speechless at what yeah, it's looking pretty rough here. Going to set number 3. I feel like we reached set number 3 so
Hold up. This draft looks a bit better. This draft actually looks winnable from the side of Revenant. And maybe they're not out yet. They're the ones that actually have the crow. So a slight difference here. But it's still going to be Terry going up against Shu. This Melody is a menace right now. Taking out 1 kill. They're going to be able to pinch him out. But right now, it's going to be Milcreo that is advancing forward slowly. And if this thrower gets control, that single choke point on the left side for RNT is now a death trap.
What do you do now? Because the right side is completely monopolized by RivalEsports, and the left side, well, you see how the left side is going. And honestly, I think we're going to a match point pretty quickly as they have so much of this right zone secured. Honestly, if you're RivalEsports, you don't even have to play aggressive anymore. For the rest of this game, you focus on defense, you drag it out to the full 3 minutes, and you just win. But it seems like they do not care. Melly's going to be going right in on the right side, and they're going to be taking that zone very dominantly. But Revenant is so behind. They only have about 5% on this left-hand zone, and as long as Rival takes their own zone now, they should be winning. Oh, they already got it. I think that's it.
Yeah, it's kind of, it looks like that's all she wrote, but actually Revenant, they also did secure their own home zone. So it's actually going to be a fight for the RivalEsports territory right now, and only 10% left on the clock. Sergeant has already conceded, actually. Standing still right now. He knows his fate is sealed, and a thumbs up in reply from Melty. They are going to be securing this one. It's not, you know, that anticlimactic, guys, because that's the nature of parallel plays, right? You secure...
Come back from that one as Revenant, because if you're Rival, you don't even have to play offense at that point. You can play defense for the next 3 minutes and basically secure the win that way. Of course, they want to wrap it up as quickly as possible, though. And now we're going to see Shu pushing in so aggressively on the right-hand side, already going right in with the Melody Super. But it seems like Revenant is prepared this time. They play perfect defense here, but at the same time, Will and Max are encroaching on right-hand side territory. If they can do it again, Rival will be taking the most clean win we've probably seen inside of a monthly final.
Yeah, you know, the way Rival is playing, I think the way that you've been describing is just brilliant. Clinical is the word. Shu right now with another super. He's going to be flying into 3 people, not even caring that he falls here, because he is opening the gateway for Milcreo to slowly encroach on that Revenant territory. Now, it may look like Revenant is winning right now, but they're the one that's actually playing defense for dear life.
Yeah, it feels like they're on their back foot for this entire match. And while it looks like they're really ahead in terms of the percentage here, it's only because they've taken their own hot zone. And again, just what you said, the percentages don't mean that much here. It only matters who is taking the opponent's side more. And so far, it's looking like Shu is going to be touching the opponent's side for the first time inside this game. Now, if they continue to equalize and take their own zone at the end here, they will end up winning because of that couple of percentage advantage.
Yeah, first Sandy super of the game going to be flying down here from Sergeant, though that is going to be giving Revenant some signs of life to be able to fly in here. Sergeant's been playing so well right now. Hypercharge at the ready from the super, but Shu, he is holding on to his super as well, and I do believe the target of choice could either be Sergeant or Terry. Both teams right now, they've secured it. Melty flies out the hypercharge. Let's go. Kenji going to be jumping in, though, to the base to actually force a response here. A very, very, very tactical decision made by Kenji, but Shu, he sees his opportunity, zips across the map, and now he takes the Revenant zone, and he's going to be trying to take some bodies with him as well.
They're all over the right-hand side as of now, but they're still 15% ahead. This next minute has to be focused on how RevenantEsports can get that percentage back, but otherwise, it's going to be a RivalEsports match.
Yeah, the hyperchargers are flying out, and RNT, they are synergizing so well right now. They are playing out of their minor milk rail, trying to be holding on right now, but the base race is still inevitable. So long as one member gets there, it's going to be difficult. It's a differential of 2%. They need to get Shu out of here, and I do believe Revenant, they have what it takes right now. Shu, he zips out of it, but it's going to be a base race situation. They're going to be able to take the Shu down right now. Terry against the world. It's still a 3% differential, but Revenant, they're the ones. Oh no, they don't have the tempo lead because Melody exists. Kenji gonna be flying out here on the left side, trying to take control here. This match is so close, Knight. It could really go either way.
It's back to Rival, but it seems like the Melody has been the consistent threat throughout this entire match. And it's going to be taking the last couple of percentage in these last 10 seconds. There's nowhere for Revenant to run, and RivalEsports takes one of the most dominant wins we've seen in the BSC. Not only today, but I think in the history of this entire championship series. Absolutely clinical plays from everyone on the RivalEsports team.